An update. The suspect accused of setting a woman on fire on the subway faces a judge for murder and arson charges.
On fire inside the New York City subway train and used a shirt to fan the flames, causing her to become engulfed in fire.
Police in New York have arrested a suspect after a woman was set on fire and killed on a subway train.
This morning about the man who police say killed a woman on the subway by setting her on fire.
Gruesome and deadly attack on the subway. Police have a person of interest in custody after someone set a woman on fire on an F train, killing her.
Police say the killer walked up to the victim and lit her clothes on fire. By the time officers got to the woman, she was fully engulfed in flame.
This is one of several violent attacks in the subway system this weekend. One person was killed, another was injured in a stabbing incident on a 7 train during an apparent robbery gone bad in Woodside, Queens. And yesterday, 2 people shot on a subway platform in Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn.
The identity of the woman who was burned to death on the subway earlier this month. Fox 5's Jessica Formosa joins us live from Toms River, New Jersey, where police say she once lived. Jess.
Natasha, that's right. The victim, 57-year-old Debrina Kwam. Police tell us that it was here in Toms River where she last lived.
Debrina Kwam has been identified as the woman barbarically burned alive on the New York subway. Officials used fingerprint data, dental records, and DNA evidence to identify the 57-year-old and said she was believed to have been homeless. Her killer, Sebastian Zapata, is facing murder and arson charges following the horror incident and is looking at life in prison without possibility of parole.
Murder by fire? What the hell is happening in America right here, right now? Absolutely everything going into 2025. It has been absolute madness. Cybertruck going boom. We got people running people over. It's just absolute madness. But yes, what is happening? The people being put on flames. Yep, the lighting, the blanket that blows up this lady and she burns alive. Well, nobody helps. What is this world coming to? Yes, absolutely. A Guatemala man who was an illegal immigrant come out and killed this lady, this homeless lady who was on the streets, homeless, and not once but twice. Had been deported once and come back into the country illegally. It's unbelievable. Donald Trump needs to get his act together and get this ship moving. The Great Wall of Trump, yes. The Great Wall of Trump needs to be up, and it needs to be up tomorrow. It should already have been here yesterday. He needs to get onto that and absolutely get rid of this stuff. But allegedly, he's into all this stuff anyway, Trump. Sex trafficking, hoes from other states. You know about the Stormy Daniels incident. And the diddler drugs. Come on, man. Get this border up properly. Let's get away from Mexico and obviously the Chinese movement of drugs as well through the shipping containers. Just block up the seas and that's the end of all that rubbish. But clearly, money, money, money. Yes, he wants the money. But yes, anyway, that's another story to be told. Let's get back to this depressing scenes here of what was happening here to the now known lady is Debrina Kwam, disappointing, a 57-year-old lady innocently killed by this Guatemala man on the train. Absolute madness. Yes, well, yes, we're going to have a look at all the tribes and tribulations about what's happening around the world. It's real sad that all this stuff is happening. For this guy just to be sitting on the bench and watching this lady burn to death, and then he fans the flames while the police officer just walks on by, and all these people are video recording this death without even helping. It's absolutely madness. What does the world come to? People just doing nothing about it. It's absolutely ludicrous what these bystanders were doing. It's just not in the sense of the world. It just should not be happening. I just don't know what you want to do about it. But let's check out this video right here, right now. It's going to be sad for some of you out there. Disturbing images of a burning body. So do not watch this if you don't want to see it. It's absolute sadness, madness. But let's check out this video now. And I will return shortly.
sorry to his family. This is a person right here. Oh.
And local religious and anti-violence leaders gathering in Coney Island tonight to remember that victim who was burned to death on the
prayer vigil taking place here at the same subway station where the woman was burned alive. Her identity still unknown.
We're calling on the police commissioner. We're calling on the governor. We're calling on the mayor. The slogan in this city is, if you see something, say something. But no one said nothing. No one did nothing. They just watched this young lady burn on fire alive. Homeless lives matter.
It's important for us to be on the trains in the holiday season, Christmas to New Year's, because there are no cops on the trains, and all the problems are on the subway cars. A lot of women during this holiday season are scared out of their minds in the subways. Normally they are, but because of what happened last Sunday at 7:30 on Coney Island, Stillwell Avenue, a woman seemed to be nodding out on that F train, and then the illegal alien from Guatemala torched her up. Nobody did anything. None of the men responded, none of the women. The cops walked right by as if they were oblivious to it. So people really feel they're on their own. That's why it's important the guardian angels have a presence, if nothing more, for the women who are being preyed on by the perps who are trying to prove that, they don't have erectile dysfunction. They don't do that to the guys. And obviously those who intend on doing harm to them.
What were these people doing, when you look at these video clips and what they were doing and what all the rubbish that's happening around the world, I mean, people's lives matter, people. Yes, people's lives matter. You have this policeman, walking across, doing absolute jackass nothing. You got people recording these things and nobody helping this poor lady. She could have been saved. Absolutely despicable what these people were doing. There was time to take action and they took no action. The whole system is corrupt and broken. We all know this. It's just absolute madness. The white man police officer just walks on by and just lets this happen. It's absolute madness. And when I'm talking about the white man, I'm talking about another white man that got away with murder. Yes, he stranglehold this homeless guy and absolutely killed him. He didn't have to hold him for that long, so he died. He could have held him longer without holding onto the throat. And it was absolute debacle that he got off it. It's just madness, and it's just white supremacy. Yes, white supremacy, folks. Absolute rubbish there. I understand that he was doing some bad stuff that other people was going to, but that doesn't give him the right to kill him. This is old school murder. What is happening? He got away with murder, folks. I tell you, if it was a black man holding him down, he'd be in jail for life. Let's just not get it twisted. America is corrupt. But yeah, going back to the subway, what were these people doing? They're just sitting there doing nothing, recording. This guy sitting down on the bench. I mean, it's just absolute madness. Yes, US is corrupt. Absolutely corrupt, folks. Madness all around the world. What's happening? Come on, Trump. You can turn this around. This is your chance. This poor lady was just burnt alive. And they did nothing about it. Just nothing about it. It's just absolute. Let's go back to the Secret Service of Trump. They knew that he was on the building and they did nothing. They waited for him to shoot and then they did something. So there was someone was trying to get him killed, but it failed. Just madness how the world works around this. But they really need to fix it, and they need to fix it now. Well, this is just craziness that's happening here. We're going to check the video now. We're going to roll the tape. Yes, we're going to roll the tape of what sort of defense he's going to put up, that he was drunk, he was out of his mind. And we're going to learn more about the suspect right here, right now on Barry Charles News.
Defense. I mean, this seems to be alcohol, related, and that's not a defense that you're drunk. All right, this individual, for whatever reason, it's premeditated. We don't know whether he used an accelerant at this point. Right. It's a good chance he probably did. Maybe he used alcohol. We don't know. And we don't know if this woman was sleeping or what the circumstances are. It did happen rapidly.
Accused of killing the woman has been charged with murder in a New York court. This incident has left New Yorkers grappling with questions of safety and inaction by others to save her. As the flames engulfed her body, shocking footage shows a group of onlookers, including some police officers, who either watched or walked past without offering any help. The incident has sparked outrage across the city, with many asking just why didn't anyone intervene and help? The woman, believed to be homeless, was reportedly asleep when Sebastian Zapata, the main accused, allegedly set the unidentified woman's clothes on fire and then fanned the flames by waving a shirt around her, which caused the flames to fully engulf her. According to federal immigration officials, Sebastian Zapata is an undocumented immigrant from Guatemala who was deported in 2018 and returned illegally to the United States after that. It still remains unclear when and where he entered the country. His last known address was listed as a Brooklyn homeless shelter for men with substance abuse and mental health.
This morning about the man who police say killed a woman on the subway by setting her on fire.
Police say he's an undocumented immigrant who previously was deported in 2018 but found his way back to the city. Good Day's Briella Tomasetti. She is live in downtown Brooklyn with more on this horrific story. Briella.
A horrific story. One to report on Christmas Eve. He is a 33-year-old Guatemalan migrant who allegedly entered the United States not once but twice illegally.
Yes, folks, he was an illegal immigrant and they did nothing about it. The wall must go up. Yes, Trump, time to put it up. We had the Cybertruck blowing up, the vehicle rampage, all this stuff's got to stop. I mean, just blow up anyone that's into this genocide, into any of this hate crime, all this rubbish. Just get rid of this stuff. A lot of it is religious. If you're into that religion, see you later. Boom, see you later. Get rid of this rubbish. It's just absolutely should be just out of this world. It's absolutely humane, despicable. Should not happen. Get rid of it. That's my opinion on that. But yes, let's get back to the New York subway. Yeah, it's just absolute craziness what's happening there. It's just absolute debacle. And this just is another, just blows my mind, this video here, that the union in New York didn't want the videotapes on the trains. Are you smoking? Well, they're not smoking now because they got on the trains and thankfully, well, did it thankfully? It took too long for them to make it survive, so maybe it's not good enough. They need more stuff on the trains. Maybe this alert when the flames hit start, boom, there should be an alert. I don't know, absolute madness. But anyway, let's check out the video, what they have to say about the video surveillance on the train.
Just want to get your thoughts generally about this crime and how it all progressed throughout the day and the key role that officials say technology played.
Well, Jessica, it's one of those things that actually could have happened very differently and unfolded in an equally tragic way. So you have an empty train car. You have an individual who approaches this woman who's sleeping. He uses this lighter, according to the video that was downloaded from that train car, to set the blanket that she is wearing on fire. And that fire expands until it awakens her. But at this point, she's engulfed in flames and stands up. At that point, the individual who set her on fire has retreated from the train car and sat down in the station on a bench to watch her stand and burn. When police arrive, all they see is her in the train car, and they summon people with fire extinguishers and people to render aid. But if it was not for the video in the train car, the MTA gets there, they download the video, and they see it, this wouldn't have been a homicide. This would have been either a mystery or a question about how did this woman either catch fire or set herself on fire. But for that video depicted this individual approaching her and lighting on fire. There were no other witnesses to that. Interestingly, the technology then expands because one of the officers on the scene turns towards where this man is sitting outside the train car on the bench, and his body camera actually captures that face. Once they download the video and realize he's gone, they're able to exploit the body cam video to say, here's his picture, put that out over their social media channel, crowdsource it to everybody riding the train and everybody in the city, and he's spotted hours away and far away. So a lot of technology came together, and, you know, it's interesting. When this technology was suggested by the governor and the mayor, cameras on every train car, cameras in every station, the New York Civil Liberties Union came out with a statement The New York Civil Liberties Union strongly opposes NYPD's plans to increase the number of surveillance cameras until police come up with a plan to safeguard the use of these cameras and the images they capture on tape. Our concerns extend to the announced increase in surveillance cameras on the subway. It was interesting that, privacy advocates and civil liberties people oppose these cameras. When you talk to people in the subway, all they say is more cops, more cameras.
Yeah, interesting. Very interesting thoughts there. Now, there's talk about that they got all these people out here already. National force people already in play in the army, out on the trains, making sure there's no fighting. Well, they weren't there to save this lady. But anyway, let's have a look at this this report around all this and what they're trying to do around the subway. But too little, too late, folks.
National Guard soldiers down in the subway system than after 9/11. The governor saying that the initial deployment was so successful, she's adding more troops to accomplish this safety mission.
So you heard it right there. We now have the most troops that we've had stationed in the subway since 9/11. And while our leaders say this is not in response to any specific incident, there have been a number of recent incidents which have captured the attention of riders and reopened a conversation about how safe the subway actually is. And by flooding the subway with troops, critics say our leaders are subtly admitting that without them we'd be in danger of something.
Scores of additional soldiers are taking up positions in the New York City transit system. It brings to 1,000 the number of National Guard members stationed at subway entrances, a show of force intended to deter crime and to reassure riders.
I saw officers on duty, which I was like, okay, I'm safe here.
There's too many crazy people out here, and the more that they have down here, the better.
The mental illness, the homeless, they need help.
250 additional National Guard soldiers are being deployed to stations across the city.
Well, they're clearly not doing enough. Yes, not doing enough for this poor lady, Debrina, just didn't get the opportunity to still be alive. We need to unite as people and make the world a better place. Every life matters. Homeless, black, white, yellow, gay, straight, it doesn't matter, and everything in between. Everybody deserves to be loved. Everybody deserves to be happiness. We need to do something about it. This has got to stop. Absolutely, all this rubbish has got to stop now, and we need to go to a better place and show the world that we can have humility, love, respect all around us. And you know what? It's mostly religion that ruins this bullshit. Get rid of it. Let's go. If you want to have religion, don't put it on anyone else. You believe in it. Don't put it on others, because that is where all this fighting comes along. Respect one another. Who cares what religion they have or non-religion? Love one another. It's just absolute sadness. It's just sad to see that this happened. A burnt person could not be saved with all the cameras and CTV and all this rubbish we have these days. Absolutely burnt alive. It's just madness. But yeah, this guy will rot away in jail. Real just stupidness. I hope that they just deport him. What sort of thing is they going to do? Put him in jail, lock him up, torture him, I don't know, just do something. It was a sad end to someone's life. An illegal immigrant was allowed in this country. As I say, put up the wall, folks. Let's put up the wall, and then this will all be over. But anyway, it's a sad news story here at Barry Charles News, and I hope that the family, who obviously it looks like the family didn't really care about this lady either, because she was homeless, but I hope they find some gratitude. I wonder if she has kids and stuff. Hopefully they get to give her a great memorial. But anyway, that's Barry Charles News for this episode, and we'll be back with plenty more soon on the channel.